Officially good afternoon. Happy Friday. Welcome, everyone, to Options Income Launchpad Weekly Market Wrap. It's a small group. My understanding is it's some pretty hairy weather out east, if anyone's out that way. Expecting some snow. Um, so, what's my opinion on holding over the weekend? -10. Oh, goodness. Snow on Monday. Okay. As always, education, illustrative purposes only. No recommendations to buy or sell. Nothing is considered personalized investment advice because we're not brokers or advisors. Anything you do should be done so at your own risk. Yada, yada, yada. Let's talk about today's market. Revisit our posture. So let's see. Sorry, I had one. I was looking at myself here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Mindset for trades. That's exactly what Doug's asking for. What's the mindset for carrying a trade over the weekend? Option. Okay, we'll look at that one specifically. Sorry, let's get through this. Let's jump in. What is the market doing flat for the day? It's been an interesting week. We had selling volume, then buying volume close, and then today it's dropping off. And where are we? We're right in the middle, above the prior low, below the prior high. Kind of pausing here. Let's see. I don't think we're even going to get to average. Current average volume is 73 million. We're at 44 now. I think we'll get to maybe 55 million tops. Okay. My slides are in the way here. This is in the way. Okay. Let's look at the VIX. The VIX is stalling now. This is still a tenuous place for us. It definitely broke up here. As it comes down, you'll notice it's in line that if this is it and then it turns around, that could be trouble. Yeah, that could be. Let's see. VIX is, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's go look at a few trades. What are you in? Seeing it fine? Wait. Not seeing it. Okay. Gabe says not seeing it. That means if you're not and everyone else is, you just need to go down in the bottom, find the icon. Yeah, and just click on it. It's there for you. Okay. Let's see. SPY. Let's go look at a few things. Ooh, I lost. Oh, there it is. I remember now. Okay. Markets are doing what? S&P's flat. Is this updated? Yeah, S&P is flat. Dow is mainly flat. NASDAQ is up 0.2. The Russell got smashed today, down 1.7. So there had been some pretty solid gains in the small cap realm. And those disappeared quite quickly. Let's go take a peek at the IWM. I mean, the trend is still super solid. Yes, we topped out. We had a kind of a top out doji candle, falling star. Next candle drops. But this is at least marginally, you can see that's about where that's going to be. This is just in a strong trend to pull back. I'm not worried about that. Is Stephen D here? I was going to see if he had done some of his early major market and sector rotation analysis. But the small caps still look overall strong. Let's look at them relative to the Dow. The Dow, less of a sell today, but overall, really starting to kind of feel a little range bound, a little sideways. Maybe a turn is trying to develop here. We'll see what the major market analysis brings over the weekend. Okay. Interestingly, gold and silver are not. Let's take a look. I mean, it's pretty big today still, right? Like it's still another 1.33% on gold. GLD at least is 1.33. Let's see what the gold actual, commodity or futures. The GCs. Okay, just under 5,000. Woo! Let's go look at the SIs. That's silver. And oh man, silver's up 6%. 102 smashed right through 100. Boom. Yeah, I don't know. That's a little gaga for silver, if you ask me. Gates like, all right. I agree. 1.33 on gold, not that bad. It was still bullish. This is big. So yeah, okay. Let's go look through. Let's talk about this week's news real fast. And then 135 by end of February. Doug, I can't argue with that. I certainly think that could be the case. Jobless claims came in a little higher than expected, but still low 200s. I mean, gosh, 225, we're fine. That's not a problematic number from that perspective, at least. Trade deficit worse than expected. Productivity as expected. And then we got PPI. No, that's next week. Sorry, never mind. I'm like, wait a second. What am I reading? That's last week's. That was this week's. Or that's next week's. We have on Friday, December PPI and CPI. Consumer confidence. Sorry, guys. It jumped on me, and I'm like, wait, I don't remember that. We have the decision. Expected to stay the same. Looking to see if there's any change in verbiage. Keep in mind that as of now, the quote-unquote dot plot only indicates one cut throughout the entire year. One cut throughout the year. So what did we get this week? Let's scroll down and find out. Jobless claims came in better than expected. We expected 208, we got 200. GDP, we expected 4.3, we got 4.4, better than expected. Income dropped a little bit, spending as expected. PCE, as expected, year over year, uptick just a little. It's not a huge uptick, but it is an uptick. And 2.8's not terrible, but it's not anywhere that's like, hey, without a problem in employment, which was okay and seems okay. They're not going to lower rates with a 4.4 GDP and inflation stuck at 2.8. It's just simply, I don't care who they put in. I don't know. Maybe I guess I'm wrong. Core. Same thing happened with the core PCE. The wobbly market still about. I think it was initially around that. I mean, it's sort of like shaking it off and like, do we dare get more bullish? That's kind of what it feels like to me. It's just a pause here. I don't think I mean, we'll go through it here, but let's go see if we see a trade, and then we'll look at anything else. PCE, that's what we saw. Okay, and then next week you have some more. So inflation's a little bit stuck. The Fed, nobody has it moving to probability in favor of a cut until like July at the earliest. Maybe it was June. I don't know. June? That's the fourth meeting of the year. June's the first time where they're like, maybe we get the cut then. Right? June. That's meeting number 4 of 8. Okay. Alcoa. Earnings. They came in pretty good, but it still gapped down, sold off, and then got it all back and then some. Almost back to where it started. But what are we going to do with it? Nothing but watch. Keep an eye on it. Apple still down. Earnings coming up. ADM still overextended. Nothing for us yet. Applied Materials. It's kind of been in this same level. You could sort of say this looks like a flag. Could just bust out of there, or it could continue consolidating. Not for us today, though. AMKR. Well, I'll tell you what. I was like, we're looking for it, and then it went so fast, and I'm like, too much. And then it's like, right back down. Okay, let's keep an eye on it. Maybe it stalls out. If it gives any kind of a higher low over here, and then it comes out of it, then yeah, I think could definitely continue on up from that. We'll keep an eye on it. Amazon. I was looking at that yesterday. Someone took it. Yeah, I would definitely hold this over the weekend. It's funny because I felt a little bit like I didn't want to put 2 alerts in a row in consumer discretionary. But you can kind of see that's the trade I was looking for, and for an alert, no, if you're in it, which means you pulled the trigger there, probably, possibly early today. Looks good. It's got plenty of room. My first level is here, 247 and change. Second level, just around 252. APH. This would be getting close if it weren't for the fact that the earnings are so close. ASX, AXP, chopping around a little bit. Alibaba, chopping around a little bit. Let's see. Bank of America just sort of floundering a little bit here. BCS sideways, but a little overextended. Citigroup, I like Citi, but it's just not there yet. If we could find our way bouncing out of this here, it's almost like breaking a mini consolidation while catching this. Like, so if I saw this like that and we turned out of this, I would definitely be like, yeah, let's give it a shot. First target, probably up here. Second target, not yet. Not today when it's down 1.5%, 2%. Caterpillar, big give back today. Looked like it was going to go. CF. So patience. Yeah, here's another one. Had a quick turn and then it stalled. Think about times we've been in trades where the stall happens and then it comes around and then comes back and it recovers. But for us, if you're not in it, well, that's a whole new trade right there. And I might think to myself, this thing can make a good move here. Look at that beautiful trend. Beautiful trend. Sienna. Not today. Coherent, a little bit of a pullback. Cisco. We're engulfing the body, but not the high right now. I'm a little bit thinking about this one. Like, this one could pop. This could make a run back. So if we were to take this trade and even go a little below this right here, that's a low of 73.01. We'll call it 72.50. 72.50 down here underneath that low. That's even a little high. It's more like down a little lower still. 72.50. So there's the stop. What's the thought process? Good chance at 79. So that alone is $2. $2 here. 79. We'll call it 79.50. 5 to 2. 2.5 to 1. 2.5 to 1. If you get this all-time high, closer to 81, well, then you get 3.5 to 1. But that might be asking a lot. So I don't know. That's a candidate. Delta, no, today. A lot of things are in these little pullbacks. Dow's paused. Ford on a hiccup. I'm okay with a hiccup. You can see my stochastics is holding up. I'm gonna carry through, but we'll see how we'll give it a little bit of early next week. GE kind of bust into some new lows. GLD we already looked at, moving higher still. General Motors sideways. Google, a little bit of a false start. I was unconvinced there, and it's like, I don't know. It's turned, but it's holding back. Did we ever get a? You can see we got that, but it's followed by this. I would have to see a new one of these show up. If it stays transitionary or turns red even, it's a no-go. So we'll watch that. Goldman was like, hey, this is getting ready, and then bam, today it's down almost 4%. Home Depot, a little overextended. HL, still moving higher, a little overextended though. I mean, when I say overextended, if I'm in it, I might still be like, hey, I'll just ride it and tighten my stop. There's no entry. We're nowhere near an entry on this. It's just, jumping on a moving freight train. Going up with silver, 100%. It's a mining company, 100%. Howmet. Howmet's pulling back, setting up. Nice industrial. Good representation of the group. That's a key one on my list there as well, but not today. IBM. Sideways. Intel. Woo! Who said about Intel bad guidance? Yeah. It looks like it has to be because this is showing that they were expecting a loss but made a gain. But they had to have been like, but. Yeah. I think it's still going to recover from this. Would I look for a new trade? Even if it were somewhere, I would say anywhere between 41.5 and 44. We're barely pulling into that range. Yeah, got a little bit overblown. Still had good earnings, a little bit of a butt, but if this thing stabilizes around the 50, I'd give it another shot. That was a great trade. I love that trade. I feel like we smashed that one. IVZ. Invesco. Earnings are close. Good trend, but not much we can do. We looked at IWM. Lumentum pulling back. LRCX looks like it's ripe for a new trade, but again, so close. 128, which is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. MasterCard is down. Meta. Good day, but really it was basically where it was at yesterday's high. So it's kind of coming into this resistance level in here. Watch MasterCard next week. Okay, yeah. You've got earnings coming up. You're hitting this resistance. I mean, you could see this get all the way up here to 675. That's another 13. That's another 2%. Another day like today almost, right? So if you were in it, would you maybe carry it and see if 675 gets you to a good place, maybe even 680? as you look back here. Before earnings, volatility is likely to stay high all the way up until earnings. Yeah, if I had to trade on this, I'd likely hold it. You holding it through the weekend? I think that makes plenty of sense. Yes. Monster. No new trade. Morgan, we were thinking about it like, hey, are you gonna? And then I think it's still a possibility. Right? If it matches here, a little below this one, but this was not really a low necessarily. So maybe it would be into next week. I think Citi could still be good. I think Morgan Stanley could still be good. Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft. Look at you. Trying to make a little pop. Okay. Micron. Overextended. Netflix. Bottomed out. New. You can see getting stalled. NVIDIA, another recovery day. Those of you who stuck with it, you held and you got a little bit more. And now you're looking to see. So yeah, you might be back in a pretty okay place. Well done. Nice to see. Palantir, no. QQQ. Keeping it still. I agree. I'd keep it through the weekend for sure at this point. Now that you're back where you are now, see if we can get another day of recovery. And you know, there's times where not only does it recover, it actually does as it was originally intended. That would be magnificent. Real. Ooh, this could turn into, like, it's been kind of on a, maybe it turns into more of a swing type cadence. We'll keep our eye on that. Rocket Lab, I was watching that one. Who saw that earlier today? And you were thinking to yourself, that's a maybe. Now it's pulled back down. Gabe says, cross Netflix off. The problem for me is I have a tendency, especially for like, if you go to a heat map, okay, this is worth a quick chat. If you go to a heat map and you look at these, I'm always gonna have Microsoft. I probably should have Oracle, Palantir, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, NVIDIA. I should probably get AVGO back on there, right? Google, Meta, Walmart, Netflix. You can see there, it's not quite as big as these guys, but for this grouping, communication services outside of the big two here, that's, anyway. So I tend to keep an eye on certain ones. And that way I wouldn't miss a reversal when it bottoms out. I think it eventually bottom out. Poor leadership. Interesting. What would be ironic is if like someone was presenting new ideas for how they innovate and they're like, no, we know what we're doing. The irony that was them to Blockbuster whatever it was, 20 years ago. Blockbuster's like, ah, ha, 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 ha. Please. Anyways. Oh, how the turntables have turned. Okay. Where's my office people at? RKT, no, Rocket Lab looks good. It's still in this consolidation mode. Still looking for it to come out of this. I think Rocket Lab has a trade for us early next week. Rocket companies. I'm looking for the brace, the two rockets to perform together. Here's Rocket Lab. Here's Rocket companies. We'll just move you over here, buddy, and just be waiting for us to come in. Just sliding in. Getting very close, getting ready. I think this one looks great. When are earnings expected? 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. It seems like we would have actually had them already, or have them soon. I should give myself a little extra space here. I don't see them, but they're there. Okay, we'll see. Ross Stores, come on in. Sliding in, getting ready for a trade on Ross Stores. The R's are looking promising. Rocket Lab is considered industrials, and then Rocket Companies is financials, and then Ross Stores is consumer discretionary. Oh, did I just freeze my computer up? What's going on here? Okay, I hear you, buddy. Let's go to Ross Stores. That's retail, consumer discretionary. RTX. Oh, it's got earnings. Otherwise, it's like matching the crew. Although that was industrials. Silver blasting again today. Bam, so big. SanDisk dropped largely. Earnings coming up soon. SPY's going to hold on right in the middle. I still think it has the potential for a bounce quality, but we need it to follow through early next week. And if it does, it should come with a couple of trades in some other areas. Here's STX. Earnings still. Whoops. Cisco. Oh, I'm still going to look to see. There's, I think, opportunity to trade out of earnings, depending on how it comes out of earnings, if it doesn't catapult initially. TJX setting up. I think I like Ross Stores better. Tesla earnings soon. TSM. TSM looks viable for a trade today or possibly early into next week. We don't have the... yeah. Kind of. I think we would still have one last opportunity here. I would actually say... This is probably one of the smaller moves. It's bigger there, About the same there. Yeah, that's a maybe. Veil continues to go up, also tied to silver. Viking down, VIX. I mean, it's good that we're back in the 15s. It's good that we're back in the 15s, but it does still feel like it's on the board, on the verge of escalation. If we can see it continue downward on Monday, and we break kind of through this little impediment here, then I think we're going to be fine. But if we bounce from here, that's super concerning on Monday. So, if we get A, happy, B, less happy, these are the two. It may not be so binary like this, but VOD overextended, WDC possibly pulling back, but earnings soon. Walmart. Oh, okay, Walmart. Maybe it's not going to come all the way down there. Maybe it's only going to be here. And maybe I need to actually look for 125 because last time it went further than I thought. Yeah, I think Walmart's definitely looking like a setup that's defensive. We've got some good looking setups. There's not like a ton, but we wouldn't necessarily expect a ton. Let's go talk about our. Ooh, I sloshed my coffee a little. Sorry, shit. Coffee slosher. Okay. Okay. M. The mates. Now that one. What day did we put that on? Yeah, that would be a stop out for sure. If you haven't stopped out yet, I think we clearly broke the support level. Actually, no. I'm wrong. We initially this was this one was here. That would be the stop out on the 14th. Because you can see we clearly violated and closed. The difference between this day and this day, one day held back above, the other closed down at the low. And you can see since that time, it's just drifted lower. At this point, for me, I would say it's get what you can out of it. Could it bounce? I mean, that's where you get in this like, hey, it's stochastics is low. It's at 20. It could bounce off of the 100, but it could also just go sideways. What was the original time frame on that trade? Let me see. Sorry, no one had brought that one up. I didn't know if anyone was still in it. If there's ever a time where if you're in a trade that you're like, hey, what about this? Let me know for sure. That was from the 5th. And February 20th. Okay, so we did buy plenty of time. But we really didn't want it to break much below that 22 level. So on this day here, it when it broke that down into that level there. Now the Nvidia trade is a little bit more mixed. So I personally closed. I stopped. But a good number of people are still in it, and they've had a good recovery. So, again, following the rules, when this one was clear to me on this day, I'm like, I actually closed it pretty early on. And then the next day, recover. They're back in the game. I mean, at this point, you maybe might, give yourself something like this and say, hey, this could make the move now. And you end up making a good profit still. So I'm hopeful that it makes that move for you, that you held on to it and it did that. So sometimes it's a judgment call, right? There's plenty of times that people are like, oh, I closed that one. I got stopped out of that one, when others are still in it. And, it has you maybe reflect on trade management. But if you're in this one, I would definitely stay in. Your stochastics looks good. You have a trajectory to work with. You have some momentum there. Yeah. Good on you. What else were we? What were we talking about here? I can't remember. Something very important. Ford is drifting. I'm staying in. Yeah. Ford, I think, is fine. And if we get the momentum that gets us in, we've got, like I said, 4 or 5 setups. Some momentum. We'll get some new setups. It should get some of these other things moving. Right? So yeah, I think our posture will still stay fairly strong. Let's just take a peek at that real fast. SPY. Clearly the long term is in its same range, and so there's no change there. And here is the 6-month. Maybe I let it ease off a quarter of a point because I've been thinking about it. I mean, it does feel less here, but I don't know. Maybe it stays. If anything, it drops a quarter of a point. If anything, worst case scenario, quarter point at most. Maybe stays the same. Volume. We have 2 sells, 2 ties, and a buy. And we're pretty sideways. So this one could drift to a 0 for me. It's right on the bubble. It's kind of held up at a quarter. I could see this one. I might drop to a 0 on this one. ChatGPT's already there. At worst, it's a 0. So we might lose a quarter of a point there. We'll see. I would say probably so. And the line of sanity, it's pretty sideways. A 0 may be the right way to go. Sector rotation, major market is sector rotation, I would say, is probably going to, if anything, stay the same. Major markets only at a 0.5. Neither one of these are lending that much. And volatility, I would say maybe it loses a quarter of a point. Back to a 1. 4.2. That would take me to a 375. It's not amazing. We don't, that's a full point drop in over a 2-week period. But we could certainly recover from it. Just a little bit of a hiccup. A 375 is still okay. It's not as strong. But again, if next week then we get some momentum, we get the bounce, I would actually say we could get back that entire point in 1 week, and we're right back at 475. So no, I'm maintaining bullish optimism. Give me your thoughts on that. We haven't been that low since November 30th. Maybe it only drops 4. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. That could be an interesting one. Okay. Questions. Questions, comments, concerns? Let's get back out of here. Yeah, kind of a, we had this little Greenland shakeup here. Boom, boom. And then you'll notice we're right back kind of where we were. And this is really prior to just that little shakeup. You'll notice there's been a good amount of just sort of like indecision. We popped out of it for a couple of days there. And there. When do we start all over with the whole enchilada? My thought was one more week, and then February we kick in gear. What are your thoughts? So Sunday the 25th, where will be our last week for any kind of like prioritization, and then we're going to start over from the beginning. So February 1st, one more week. February 1st. The loop, the train has gone in for maintenance. It's running well. It's ready to come out. Ready to do well. Okay. Lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh yeah, no. Okay. The trading plan. We're on for Sunday. Market posture. Yeah. If you're out where the weather's bad, be safe. Have a great weekend. I will see everybody on Sunday morning, and if not, Monday morning. As always, happy trading.